I'm back with another video. I know 2 videos right next to each other, a bit confusing. Basically, this video is just for those people that are unvaccinated or come under the unvaccinated rules. If you are fully vaccinated, please watch this video up here. As like I said, this is for those only who are unvaccinated. Also, this is just for the updated rules that come into place for the 4th of October in England. I don't believe the rules have changed yet for Scotland, Wales and Ireland, so I will link those below. As always, anything I mention I will also link down below. I will do my best to keep you guys updated in the description or in the comments if anything changes, but I would recommend you follow my Twitter page, as I can update you guys quicker, I can retweet things. It's just a lot easier to stay updated than having to read through the comments or read through the description. So onto the updates. So previously there was a traffic light system, now there is only a red list. So this video is for if you're entering the country from another country that's not on the red list, if that makes sense. The red list rules are different, so if you have been in a country or territory on the red list in the last 10 days, you will only be allowed to enter the UK if you are a British or Irish national or if you have residence rights in the UK. So if you fall under that, if you're coming from a red listed country, I'll link the countries below, then this video will not help you as the rules are different. So for those coming from any country that's not on that red list and you're unvaccinated, the rules are unfortunately basically the same as if you were to come back from an amber listed country. So I would recommend you check out this video here. I know it's out of date, is for an amber country, but the rules are exactly the same. So if you are confused or you need help with any of the testing or anything or quarantine, definitely watch that video because it will explain things in more detail. This is just an overview. I will try and go through as quick as I can because I know my videos are quite long sometimes, but I just want to make sure I get all the important information across to you guys. Being unvaccinated, entering the UK, what will you need to do? First, you will need to take a pre-departure test 3 days before you travel to England. This obviously must be negative. If it's positive, you won't be allowed to travel. You will also need to complete a passenger locator form 48 hours before you travel to England. And finally, you must book and take a day 2 and day 8 test on arrival into the UK. You will also be required to quarantine for 10 full days at a place of your choice. I will go into all of these bits in more detail. So first up, that pre-departure test. You must provide a negative COVID test 3 days before your departure. This can either be a PCR or a lateral flow test. If you saw my video returning from a green listed country, I used a company called Breathe Assured, who I would recommend to anyone that's traveling from the UK for like a holiday. So it's very simple. You order the tests before you travel and you bring them with you in your suitcase. You then take the test via a Zoom call, which you schedule beforehand, and then they'll email you a certificate with your results. I think there is another company doing a similar thing that I'll link below, but for more information on like how it works and things, I would definitely recommend you watch this video, as I do talk about it in a lot more detail. Whatever tests you take, you will have to receive a certificate from them, and it does have to contain all this information. Otherwise, it will not be accepted and you will be denied boarding. So next, you will need to have booked your day 2 and your day 8 test. Now, for fully vaccinated people, they said that you can take a lateral flow, but I believe for unvaccinated people, this still has to be a PCR test. Now, the reason I talk about this before the passenger locator form is because you need to have booked these tests before you can fill out the passenger locator form. This is because when you book the tests, you will get a booking reference number which you will have to input into the passenger locator form. This means that you do have to pay for a test. You cannot take an NHS test or bring one with you. you have to pay for one of the government recommended tests. So I have previously used Randox, who I would recommend. I haven't had a bad experience with them. I think I've used them 4 times, and they're also one of the cheapest. Again, you can watch any of my videos. I've pretty much used them in any of my recent travel update videos. I talk about them mostly in that Amber video, which I would really recommend you watch if you are confused about any of the rules, as I actually take the test and go through the process. Now, when it comes to testing and you're not from the UK, I would recommend that you first contact your hotel to see if they will take delivery of your test. If they cannot, then you will have to find a testing location in person nearby. You are allowed out of quarantine to drop off your test or to travel to take the test. But again, this all has to be booked in advance so that you do get that booking reference number. Whatever test you plan to take, I would recommend looking at the Gov website, as this has all the testing providers in order from cheapest to most expensive, and you can filter via location and via like if you want to take this test in person or if you want a test kit at home. Again, I will link the cheaper options below for testing places. I would recommend that you buy the test in a package so that you buy the day 2 and day 8 test together. I know Randox offer this. So after you've purchased your day 2 and day 8 test, you must fill out the passenger locator form 48 hours before departure. Again, I will link this below. You won't be able to complete the form without that day 2 and day 8 test booking reference number. I haven't made a video on the passenger locator form. I said I might, but I just never got the time. Again, I still might. I will see if I get any time in the next few weeks. So if you need help, comment below. If you get to this part, all you have done is basically create an account. You have not filled out the passenger locator form. So all you have to do is click the top link. I think it says create a new form. Then go ahead and fill out all the questions. It asks you things like what's your date of travel, where are you traveling from, what's your seat number, all of this information. Some can be a little confusing or repetitive, but it's fine. If you need help, please contact me. So once you get to check-in, you are going to be asked to show your passenger locator form and your negative COVID test that you took within the 3 days before travel. They will check those, and if they're okay, then they'll let you through. If you don't have one of these things, you will be denied boarding. Once you arrive into the UK, you are required to quarantine for 10 days. The day you arrive is considered as day 0. So when you take the day 2 test, it can be taken on or before day 2. So you can take this on the day you arrive, or you can wait until day 2. Just so long as you take it before or on day 2, you are fine. And then the day 8 test must be taken on day 8. They do random quarantine checks to make sure that you are quarantining. This can be via phone call or in person. Before the rules changed, this did happen to me. I had somebody come to my door to check I was quarantining on day 8. They just ask for proof of ID and ask you a couple of questions just to make sure that you are quarantining. So you do have to quarantine, otherwise there is a big fine. If quarantine isn't for you, you are still able to get out of quarantine on day 5. This is if you wish to participate in the test to release scheme. So the test to release scheme is where you pay for another test, which you take on day 5. If you test negative, you are able to get out of quarantine once you get your results. Even if you do this, you still must take that day 8 test. It just means that you don't have to quarantine for the full 10 days. So if you wish to participate in this before you fill out the passenger locator form, that's fine. You just have to state this when it asks, do you wish to participate in the test to release scheme? You just hit yes and fill out the questions. If you decide when you get to England that you do want to participate in this, you will have to fill out another passenger locator form. If you're traveling before day 8, so before you take that test, you will still have to buy the day 8 test. Even if you take it or not, you will have to still purchase it. So that is pretty much everything. Just remember pre-departure test, passenger locator form, day 2 and day 8 test, and quarantine. If you've got all that, you will be fine. I explained everything okay. As always, feel free to comment any questions you may have. I will try to answer them as best I can and as fast as possible. You can always message me via Twitter too. I will do my best to keep you updated with any new rule changes as well, so keep an eye on this channel. Also keep an eye in the comments. I'll pin comments if anything changes, or in the description. Look at the links below. As always, I'll link everything I've just mentioned down there. Unfortunately, I don't travel again until December, so I will not do a personal travel video until December about going through any of the rule changes. I really hope this video helps you guys. I would much appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button and follow me on Twitter. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Happy traveling.